Welcome, friends. My name is Emmy. I'm a CZT, and a CZT means that I am a certified Zentangle teacher. And I really am excited to be here with you today. We are on day 19 of our GratitangleZ. And I'm enjoying this quite a lot. I hope and I know that you are too, because lucky me, you are coming back. And so things are working out well for me and you too. So anyway, sorry to go on, but I'd like to show you what we're doing today. But before I do, let's talk about what we're grateful for. Everybody has their own thing that they're grateful for, but what I thought about today, and it's come dear to me, and not my own money problems, because I have an age where, life is, I don't need so many things. So anyway, money will not solve your real problems. Instead of your, I'll put our or mine, and it's just a generalization. So it's something to think about, something word to the wise. Mostly we think about that when we think about our kids and where we used to be at. But anyway, enough of that. Good gravy. Today we're making a fun pattern called Narfrilly. It's by Lynn Mead. And I wrote my thing that I'm grateful for, that I try to hold that dear, on the other side of it. And I'm keeping this nice little journal of cards that I have done every day with you, and I'm real excited about this because they're tan. I've added a few white highlights here and there, and they're just fun. This was one of our best ones that we really liked together. And this was the silliest, that Pip, I thought. I liked Houdini, but I thought it was among the harder ones that I had done. And if you were like me and you just did 2 puzzle pieces on Tick Tick, that made it a lot easier on day 17. And then Plia, or Plie, by Apple Lim, I thought that that was really clever. I might add a little white on here when I get a little extra time. But anyway, just to work with you a minute on my usual supplies, I'm going to have my, today I have a 0.3 micron, which is very close to a 0.1, obviously, just a little tiny bit bigger. I'll want my blender stump, and I want my pencil, and I always keep my kneaded eraser nearby. It's just a really good thing to have. It lasts and lasts. So I once in a while, I'll put this on a shell, and I quite like that too. So before we get started on Narfrilly on here, I really wanted to do it on scrap with you. So grab your pen. It's up to you, but I don't think you need to go into pencil here. Narfrilly has a lot of variations. If you're familiar with the pattern Narfellow by Lynn Mead, you will know what this is all about. To practice together, though, I'm going to make 3 pretty substantial humps. Remember, we're practicing, so there's not going to be any Mary Poppins here. I'm going to end at the top of that hump, which is kind of like how I ended at this one. I don't remember if you know, if you were at Inktober, but in Inktober, we did Narfellow, or one like that. And so I'm going to start right here in the middle of the hump, and I'm going to come out and around and reconnect. I'm going to do this in this hump too. I'm starting on the low end, halfway nearly, out, kind of aura or echo in a wide way, that out hump. And then this one here, starting on the back side, coming out and reconnecting, and I have to extend that. So there's a lot of variations that Lynn Mead has suggested. The one that I like is, of course, the one I'm going to show you. But if you get on the Gratitudes or GratitangleZ site, you will see lots more ideas. Watch what I'm going to do now. I'm going to start right here in this spot, and I'm going to come up and aura this first one, but not as long. A little bit shorter. I'm going to try, my goal is to have it be a little bit shorter each time, like that. Maybe you'd even put a pencil line in there to help you. So then when I've got this straight, I'm going to come back, widen, 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 and then tight back in again. Let's do that again. And again, now I'm aiming for out, but I'm also coming along here. Oh, I know what's wrong. I forgot to turn my light on. I'm so sorry. I wondered why there was a shadow. Here we go. So I'm starting tight here. I'm going to come along like this, aura, 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 stop right there this time. Same type treatment. I'm going to come back on itself, aura, out, wide, and back. I like to do that if there's room 3 times. 2 is just fine too. Come out, wide. Won't go very far this time. I got to turn my work a little bit. Back on itself, out, and tight back. And then, of course, part of the pattern is the embellishments, and that would be the whiskers. So on the 3 that I made, I'm going to put these whiskers on. I'm also going to come back here on the top and darken in that point a little bit. And this one is pretty dark already. That's so cute, isn't it? I want to do the original too. I'll do a central whisker and then a couple more whiskers. This one, I'm going to come out this direction. So I'm starting here. I'm going to come up, mirror, stick, and back in. I find this to be very easy and very forgiving. I hope you do as well. Starting again where I was. Put that pencil mark in there if you feel you need it. Not as high this time. Come back on itself and tight back in. Let's do it again. One more time, out, back in. And then do the whiskers. Darken these tips a little bit, that matters. Much as you want. This is your work. I have room for one more here. So I'm going to come tight, and I don't think I need this, but I'll go ahead and put that in there anyway to aim for. Your choice. Aura, and come out. Travel down the same point I was already on, and then out again and back in. Out, travel back, and let's do it one more time. But as I mentioned, you are welcome to do 3 or 4 or however many you want of these whiskers. So this is going to take, in my opinion anyway, a little bit of practice. And I'm not going to go ahead and shade it here because this is our practice, definitely a practice paper. But I'd like to get started with this one now. So it's easier, I find, to turn my paper like this and then look at it from the straight on. So remember how we do this. We make 3 humps. And sure, you can make 2 or more. And as forgiving as it is, it doesn't matter how tight these humps are. First one I'm going to do is I'm going to come back on itself right here and close it off. I'm going to start at the bottom third of this one, I'd say, just past the middle point. Again. And then the third one about halfway or a third, mark where, in my mind I'm marking half and then I'm going to the next one, and that one is going to be kind of wonky. I think it'll still be all right. Starting here at this point, And I can put, why can't we? I'm going to put a little pencil mark to help me out here to aim for. Bring it out. Come back on itself. And tight back in. Do it again. Come out. And back. I really find that it's a lot easier to do this in one stroke. That is your call. You're going to find yourself doing this when you're, I think you are anyway, when you're on the phone and when you're just messing around with your pen, doing some of this, some practice. This is a great one to practice on. Let's start here. Aura, aura, come up. I'm at a point where I'm not sure I need to mark this for myself, but it still wouldn't hurt. So I'm putting a pencil mark there. Come back on yourself and close it off. Do it again. Turn a little bit. If you turn, then everything else is going to turn too. And you'll find that it's a lot easier. Add your whiskers. I'm including this one that was my base in my whisker line. And we'll have one more chance to do this together. Out, out. Do it again. Not sure I need this, but why not? Come out. Lift your pen, or not. And a third one, and back, tight. All three are as tight as you can. I have to lift that one a little bit longer. Do you see what I did there? More like, we're past Halloween, but more like a witch's fingernails. I have to make those a little longer, I think. I hope that doesn't offend you. I don't mean to. Very nice. So now that I got this on here, and it's important to me to shade, so I need to, in this case, get a little of that pencil off of here that I put on. Pretty much if I want that to go, all I have to do is lift. I don't really have to usually do too much else. Depends on your paper. Grab your blender or your pencil and then your blender stump. I'm going to come all the way up the outside with kind of a tight pencil mark. I want this to pop as well, so I'm going to come along here like this. I want to darken these whiskers even more, so I'll use some pencil mark on there. You see I'm just kind of pushing that on. Let's do that again. I want this curve to be shaded. I think you're going to find the shading is everything on this pattern. And then I want this one, the last one in the set. I'm going to bring that shading right down there like that. That's just my way of looking at shading. You have your own way, okay? You should know that. You will find that I am not Mary Poppins about much of anything. That comes from being a 5th grade teacher. Okay, grab your blender stump now and push it around. If you want to stick with me a little longer after this, oh, see how I'm pushing that out? I think that that gives it motion when you do that. I'm pushing this out. Watch, I'm going to do this again. Push. So that it goes right out and diffuses into the paper. I'm going to do it here too. No, I won't. I want this to travel along. We'll do it on this one though. I want this to travel. There you go. I want that curve to go right out into space there. I'm going to take that down a little bit too. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. At least I hope you think so. Very, very pretty. Need to get rid of that. So these pencil marks did not go away to my satisfaction. So I'm going to just diffuse them a little bit with my blender stomp. You can do that anytime. And if you haven't already, grab your calendar, get it handy, and let's do this on this very small space for this very large pattern. I want to show you before we get going on it what I did. I put this on a border. I thought this was really quite lovely, and I hope you think so too. I really didn't have any paper that I liked, so I go to this restaurant up north once in a while, and so I just used the back of the coaster. And I think that's going to make the prettiest border. So anyway, just a thought for you. Keeping this handy, because as I mentioned to you, I like doing this up and down, but maybe on an angle would be cool on this. So I'm going to come along here about halfway through what I would do normally. And that's not going to take that many. So the first thing I'm going to do is, remember where half is, and then I'm going to come along here less than half and bring this like this. I'm going to come along here on the hump, half the hump, and to 1/3 of the hump, and close it off. And I'm afraid on this one that might be all I'm going to get. So I'm going to start here in this corner, travel almost all the way up, back down, do it again, and again. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay, halfway here on the hump. Well, no, I think I'll go down here instead. And I'll just make my aura of my leaves, or whatever. What would you like to call them? There's 3. And I'll have to add a little shading to that. I think that's so sweet. I hope you do too. I can get a little shading on here, right under here. And I can get a little shading right here too. And then I'll put some shading out here. You see how it changes? Just changing it up from on that slant like I had it to draw. It makes a huge difference. And then I want to put shading on top of the whiskers. Well, I hope that you like this pattern. You might find it to be challenging because of the curve and how it starts. But then all of a sudden you get this eureka, like, okay, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. When I know what she's talking about. It's very hard to look up this pattern, though. You'll notice that. So you might find yourself looking, as I mentioned, right onto the GratitangleZ site. I'm so sorry this got messed up, and I did not get to say goodbye to you properly on day 18. So we are on day 19, and I'm really excited to be here with you today. I love it that you're sharing your time with me. I appreciate it very much. I'll talk to you soon, another time. Bye.